Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Deck Durdle. So I'm going to do something a bit weird in this episode if this series is not weird enough already. But before I do that, I just sort of do a bit of explanation of where I'm planning on going with the channel going forward. Hopefully it's all good news. So a change of circumstances for the better has afforded me more time during the week than I previously had. When I was doing up till now doing magic videos, they really had to all be done at the weekend. That's why you tend to get a lot of them in one go. I'm going to try and spread them out a bit more now during the week, and hopefully because of that there'll be more videos. Now basically the plan is starting in July I'm going to lock everything in terms of things like the Deck Durdle and the Commander Fodder episodes that deal with a particular set, and also I'm going to resurrect the theme deck Commander Fodder episodes. That's where I use a theme deck, the precons from certain sets as an inspiration for a commander deck. So I'm going to synchronize all of that. So starting in July we're going to go into Urza's Saga. So what will happen there is obviously I do the first save, starting off with the first set from that block, the Urza's Saga episode of the Deck Durdle, where I build a sealed deck. Then using rares from that particular build in another video, a separate video that will come out a little bit later, I'll do a Commander Fodder episode where I'll build around one of the rares, and then what I'll follow that up with is a Commander Fodder episode with one of the theme decks from that set. There's normally about 4, so I should be able to find one that either has a legendary in it or has a particularly strong build around rare. That's my hope. So it'll just be one of the decks from that set, and then I'll just roll around through the sets. Obviously there'll be extra episodes of the Deck Durdle for combinations of sets, for sealed builds, so the first plus the second plus the third, and the first, second and third together, those sort of thing, and it will just roll and roll on historically going forward. So my aim is to try and cover like a whole block in a month, basically, if I can. So that's the first. So it's a bit of a tweak. We've been doing those already, and I've just elected to sort of resurrect that theme deck build around that I know 1 or 2 people have commented on and wanted me to do a return to that. I'm assuming they were hoping that I would do it in paper, but it's just a lot easier and a lot cheaper to do it using digital artifacts. So that's the first thing. Second thing, as you noted, anybody that's watched the channel for quite a while now, I've noticed that I've brought in that Magic the Relaxing thing. I know there was quite a few people that wanted me to go down, embrace the ASMR aspect of the channel a little bit more. So that was really an answer to that. I know not everybody watches those videos, but I know there's enough people that enjoy them, and certainly I feel very relaxed after I've recorded them. So that's something I want to keep up. It is quite difficult to produce those every week, just in terms of thinking something original to visualize around, and I don't want to fall into the trap of making it like all the other ASMR videos out there where I'm sort of clicking my fingers in front of the microphone and playing with bubble wrap. That's not really what that's about. It's more of a sort of self-help relaxation tool which taps into elements of ASMR, and so what I'm planning on doing with that is obviously where I can, I may still do one a week, but certainly there'll be at least one a month, and I'm going to probably have it a little bit more scripted. It won't be so noticeable for you necessarily, but for me it stops me having to re-record stuff if I make a trip up when I'm going through this, because it does make me very relaxed doing them. And it's easy to lose one's space. In terms of the physical unboxings, this may well be where the biggest change is. So I'm going to sort of go back to basics a little bit. As you know, I've been doing the bundle for a long time, and it'll be no surprise to find that my biggest disappointment with the bundles was when they removed the player's guide. Things got worse with the bundles, I suppose, when also they started cutting back generally in the set with the amount of different artwork, to the point of where we were getting some sets where it's just one piece of artwork per mana, per colour of mana. And for me, that sort of really, was the not the death knell, but it made me rethink about, buying bundles generally. And what I'm going to do as a sort of experiment, and I may reverse this, is I'm just going to crack packs, and it's going to be draft packs. I am aware now that there's half the problem is there's just so much Magic product out there now, all the different boosters. So I'm going to keep it strictly old school where I can, unless they change anything. I'm going to open regular draft booster packs, just crack those packs. So I might buy the same amount of packs as in booster. I may buy more, may buy slightly less. It's just trying to, I don't know, encapsulate what a lot of the things were about opening those packs, and really get down to the core of it now that the player's guides have gone. So maybe I need to do a little bit more research before I crack the pack, so I can talk a bit more around the cards. If I'm going to do that, maybe I need to open less packs. Maybe that'll play to the randomness that I know people really like. If I'm only opening, say, less than 10 packs, there's a good chance that there's a risk that I won't pull an interesting or even pull a mythic, and that adds a bit to the tension, I suppose. So just playing around a little bit with that, but definitely back to opening packs, which is basically when the channel started. That's what I did. It was a little while before I kicked in opening what were then called fat packs. That's so that I will still be opening product. It's just going to be, I'm not going to get so tied to thinking, oh yeah, every month I've got to buy, a bundle and X number of sealed product, not sealed, precons, which is another thing I've got locked into now. I think I might be done again with precons, as has happened before. If you remember, I stopped opening the intro packs, and then of course once they started doing the commander decks, then I've done now effectively 10-11 years worth of commander product. So they've now introduced the commander product into the each set as well. So I think I'm going to back off of physically opening that product, but I do want to still do deck commentary on the sealed product. I think it'll be interesting to do something around that. So the next set that comes out, there will definitely be something about the commander decks, but it won't necessarily be physically me going out and buying them. And certainly there's something I want to do there based on the commander fodder series, around doing commander fodder against those decks, pulling out the other legendaries in there that aren't necessarily on colour for the deck as a whole, which happens all the time with those products. They have the on colour main commanders, and they have the on colour, not commanders, if you like, and then they also have the individual colour legendaries that are often in there. And also some build around rares and new cards and stuff like that. I think it might be a more interesting way to spin it out and dive a bit deeper into the product, rather than just going, here's the product, this is what you get physically. Here's the product, here's what you can do with it type of video. And then again, if things change, that I might start opening sealed product again, or not, so I keep calling it sealed product, pre-cons again, but just so you know, so there's no surprise. So that'll obviously take more of an effect when the next set comes out. I am planning on opening some packs for the most recent set, which I haven't got round to yet. I haven't actually got hold of any product for that, which is the Modern Horizons 2. So I want to open a few packs of those. So that's basically where things are going. And so for this episode, I thought I actually wanted to do something rather than just tell you what I'm doing going forward. So we're going to do an interesting, I'm going to do an interesting build here, which is comprising of a starter deck, and then this is all virtual, of course. A starter deck of Ice Age, a 2 packs. I know there are only 12 cards per pack, but 2 packs of Alliances and 2 packs of Coldsnap as my starting pool. So this was this pseudo block. So originally in the days of Magic the Gathering, if I can find it here, let me just look it up, because it is an interesting thing that happened. So we've got original Ice Age, which I've opened several starter decks and packs of this already. So you can see here, let me just see if it does explain. So what happened was they didn't really get onto block design until it would have been Mirage. So Mirage block, which we've done, done episodes of. Now, what happened was there was a story spun later on. If you want to look into this, I'm not going to go through it now, but at a later point in Magic's history, they released the Coldsnap set, and there was a made-up backstory of that, which backfired on them. And as a result, they also redefined this so-called Ice Age block, which had been retrospectively defined anyway. So the whole concept of an Ice Age block was sort of invented, I suppose, after Mirage block was created as a way of lining things up. So it would have been Ice Age, Alliances and Homelands. So then further on down the line, they retrospectively reorganized it and had it as Ice Age, Alliances and Coldsnap. And Coldsnap was actually released, in July 21, 2006. So what I'm planning on doing in June, until we get into that sort of July thing of spinning up the new regime, if you like, is to do some random sealed deck stuff and some random commander fodder stuff based around this pseudo block, which I think will be interesting. I mean, I love Ice Ages. Coldsnap's really interesting. Alliances I'm never sure about. And sometimes I'll have to crack open what I call my booster binders, which has one booster of each set from about 3rd edition onwards. It does skip over, I think, I'm trying to even remember now the set I missed between 3rd edition. I've definitely got an Alliances booster in there, and that'd be really interesting. And that's the other thing I'm planning on doing, is a few more episodes like that where I look back at physical cards I have in my collection. So yeah, and also obviously that there's going to be more or another episode of Land Ahoy as well, waiting in the wings. So yeah, and I'll try, and the plan is to stagger the videos during the week, is not do a dump on a Saturday, so to speak, Saturday morning where everything just goes out, all 3 videos or whatever, is to like stagger them a bit more during the week. So what we're going to do is have a look at this stuff. So I've already preloaded this. So what I've done is I've generated these, a starter deck, 2 packs of alliances, 2 packs of Coldsnap. And let me just close that. I don't think we need any of this open. I'm going to have to remember to save this as well. In fact, let me save a copy so I can keep the original, because what I want to do is use elements of this for a set related episodes of the Commander fodder around these sets. So it's really important that I don't lose the original pull, which I could accidentally do if I don't save this. Let me just copy the deck. Let's do. I should put that in the Commander fodder folder. There we go. Let's go back to the original one. You can see I've been playing around with some other ideas for Commander fodder as well. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at Dance of the Dead. It's always an interesting card. You can't really read it very well. I'll have to read through that in the Architect. It's probably a little clearer, because this is back in the day when the rules text, some of the rules text were just unbelievable. Let's have a look at our rares. So we got Freylei's Winds. Whenever a permanent becomes tapped, put a win counter on it. Permanents with any win counters on them do not untap during their controller's untap phase. Instead, remove all win counters from those permanents. Interesting. So we've got, so we've got some potential for some sort of green lock deck here. So DV Golem, for the cast, does not untap during your untap phase. So I'm just trying to get comfortable here. I've got that's better. I've got a nice new chair, and it takes a bit of getting used to. Okay, does not untap during your untap phase. 0, untap target creature opponent controls to untap. So DV Golem. Ability only during upkeep, and it's a 5/3 for 4. Interesting. Staff of the Ages. Creatures with any landwalk ability may be blocked as though they did not have those abilities. Okay. Looks like that might be sideboard material. We've got an Abyssal Spectre in here. We got some sort of weird green-black control. Some pretty cool cards here. I know. We've got Brainstorm. There's Incinerate as well. That's going to really draw me through to red. I think I've only got one of those. The nice thing about choosing, what were they called back in the day? I'm trying to think what it was. Starter deck, that's the word I'm looking for. Is you get land in here. You get roughly around 3 boosters worth of stuff, and then you get a ton of land. And this set, of course, had snowlands in it as well, which formed part of the pack. Okay, Incinerate. Power Think, wow. There's some strong blue stuff in here. God, so many options. Okay, what have we got in alliances? I don't think, although the card I'm thinking of was actually a common, wasn't it? Force of Will, we don't have. Because this is a smaller set, you're going to see like a lot more prevalence for multiples here. We've got 2 Sadivi Sentries, Phyrexian Warbeast, Stormcrow, Agent of Stronghold. Yeah, there's a few of these cards in the early days of Magic as well. They had a like a stapled on filtering ability. So you can see here, you've got a red card and then it can filter actually black mana, or to produce black mana. This will probably be able to read better when we actually get to look at the deck. So our rare's a Lake of the Dead. So this would have been, I think there was a cycle of lands like this in the Alliances set. When Lake of the Dead comes into play, sacrifice a swamp or bury Lake of the Dead. Add black to your mana pool. Tap. Okay, 4 black to your mana pool. It's interesting. So these also, the boosters had snowlands in them as part of the common slots. We've got a Dark Depths. Okay, so I'm assuming that's our rare. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, and we got a Thrumming Stone, Ripple 4. So this set had Ripple in it. Whenever you play a spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may play any revealed cards with the same name as the spell without paying their mana costs. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. God, this is going to be a fun build because there's just so much going on. Yeah, there was also dual lands in the set. So this is the green-white one. Couple of Simian Brawlers. This was actually, relatively speaking, a small set as well. So even though we've only opened a couple of packs, we're seeing dupes here. Seeing duplications. Quite a few. That seems more than I would expect, but maybe not. Okay. Right, let's actually get into here. We've got all our land over here. I love this artwork from here. Right, so let's I'm going to sideboard all just the regular basic lands because to make things a little bit clearer, I think. Once we've done that, I should be able to drag this across fairly easily. It's just a question of opening up the sideboard with one of the cards. Let's put in the bung the snowlands over here as well. I just want it so we're left with the non-basics. Okay. Yes. There are a few of these cards as well which were conditional or got better the more copies you had in, you could say in this one, your graveyard. Pretty sure that was a thing in this set. I've deliberately come in cold to this. Again, I always tend to regret that, but in some ways it makes it more interesting. Let me just make this slightly larger so you can see this. Let's Dance of the Dead. There we go. So, one of the black, enchant dead creature. Interesting. Take target creature from any graveyard and put it directly into play under your control. Tapped with +1/+1. Treat that creature as though it were just summoned. The creature does not untap during its controller's untap phase. At the end of his or her upkeep, its controller may pay an additional 1 and a black to untap it. If Dance of the Dead is removed, bury the creature in its owner's graveyard. From any graveyard. Okay, I see. It's an interesting card. If you're playing black. Of course, Howl from Beyond was in here. Oh, crikey. So many options. Okay, let's play Dark Depths. Anyway, just because we can. Let's just build a red-black deck, see where we go with this. I'll leave Jeweled Amulet in Skullcat's. Okay, that would work well in a reanimation. If we want to get stuff in our graveyard, there is an interaction between that and Dance of the Dead, but whether it would be advantageous to us, I'm going to sideboard that. Do I want to play Ripple? What's the spell? Is that likely in a sealed deck? Yeah, maybe the odds are against me. We'll see. Okay. Let's just open up a maybe board. And make this a little bit smaller so we can actually see everything. There we go, that's better. Save that. Interesting. So I'm just going to remove anything that's not red or black. I just need to get some sort of point of reference on this so I can see what's going on. Let's make that a little bit smaller. Could do some interesting things in blue, but I'm just going to dive in. I suppose I should have gone through and just had a look and seen what the best removal was for a particular colour, but sometimes it's just fun to just dive straight in with a colour. Well, we're not self creatures anyway. And obviously what I'm going to do is keep any of the artifact creatures because they can be played in any colour just until we get a feel for this. So yeah, because we're playing Ice Age and that period in Magic, obviously banding is very much a thing. Looks like we definitely want to have a go at seeing what we can build in green. It's going to be one of these instances where we pick a colour and it just builds itself. I don't think so. So you want to get around 23 playables. Just going to sideboard over the lands just temporarily so I don't get my math wrong. Okay, so we got to drop about 10 cards here, somewhere around that. So let's just zoom this out so we can see what we're doing. Okay. So, I definitely want to play Abyssal Spectre. I don't know how many copies of this I want to play. It's good for fixing, but it's a 1/1 for 1. Two and a red. 1/2 for 3. Creature you control gains a snow-covered land walk ability. Turn. Maybe not. elemental 4/4 for 6. XX1, destroy target artifact or creature with converted mana cost X. Okay, well, let's leave that for a moment. Declared as a blocking creature. 3 for a 3/1. 2/2 for 2. Prevent all damage that Goblin Furrier would deal to snow creatures. Okay. Goblin Rhyme Runner. Gains haste. 2/2 for 3. Target creature can't block this turn. It does tap itself. Goblin Ski Patrol. Maybe not. Okay, that's better. So we can invest unlimited amounts of black into that, which is good. 4/3 for. Okay, I like that. 4 for 3. You have to sack a land and it deals 1 damage. Let's just get rid of that for the moment. Did 1 form of regeneration? Not really. Okay. Yeah, give that a go. It becomes tapped, yeah. Oh, poison counters. If it blocks, if it attacks and is not blocked, defending player still gets a poison counter. Okay, let's leave that in there. Okay, 15 creatures. Right, Feast or Famine. Bury target non-black, non-artifact creature or put a... Okay, that's cool. Fire Covenant. Deals X damage divided any way you choose. Okay, I'm cool with that. Out and Beyond. Yep. Incinerate. Yep. Misinformation. Opponent's graveyard on top of his sword library in any order. Opponent's graveyard. Maybe not. Surging Flame. Ripple 4. Okay, so it's basically a 2 damage for 2 because we don't have any. Oh no, we have 2 copies, so yeah. Okay, good to know. Dance of the Dead. Okay. Oh, Fear. Okay, yep. Soul Kiss. Concentrate. Use Dark Creature. Play 1 life free. Cannot spend more than 3. Pay 1 life to give creature chance. Interesting. Okay. So that's a 1 damage. Hang on, no. Where X is 1. Yeah, okay. So it's a... Yeah, I don't know if I want that. Okay. So we got to drop 3 cards. I like the utility of that card. Expensive deck. Okay, so let's look at the stats. So it's pretty much equal nearly. Okay, so we need some swamps. Let's add them in. And we need some mountains. So I just lost my... Oh no, I did move them all across. Okay. So I need 17 in here. Now, the other thing I want to do is just decide. So I do want to play Dark Depths. Let me just check the stats on this again. Yeah, slightly more red than black. And I do want to play... Where's it gone? Lake of the Dead. Yeah, that'd be good. Right. Let's have a look at the curve. What sort of finishes do we have here? Okay. Okay, let's try and play test this. Okay, so what do we got? So we've got a turn 2 Goblin Furrier. Nothing else we can... Okay, that's good. So we can play our turn 3 Foul Familiar if we wanted to. Goblin Rhyme Runner. Okay, so we have a Surging Flame. So we have enough mana to cast a number of these cards. The thing we still can't cast is this. It's Thermopod. Oh, now we're good. Oh no, hang on. We need one more mana. Oh, there's our Dark Depths. It's our alternate win condition. Okay, so... Turn 1 Rhymebound Dead. Uh-oh. I think we're flooded here. Yep. It's not good. Let's just check. We're getting badly flooded. Might just be luck of the draw. Let's see if I need to tweak this. Okay. Oh, that's why. See, it keeps doing this. I don't know why it does this. Must be a bug. I can't see anything I'm doing wrong. Let's try again. Something very strange going on here. It's just luck of the draw now. It seems to be fixed. So red black, definitely interesting. Seem to be making the drops. I'm just looking to see, just for my next build with this, whether there's anything so for instance, if I played blue, so we got Brainstorm, Clairvoyance, and there's a number of removal spells in blue. also looking to see what plain green might give me. It's just, what I'm going to do is try a red-green build. Just going to check and see what my strongest creatures are in terms of red or black. That keen to play blue. Okay, so let's just remove all the black. Let's see what green. Let's see what green black looks like. 5 and then rebalance my land. Okay. Just go back and just make sure it's done it again. Yep, it's okay. Weird. Right, let's see what we got here. Oh, turn 1 Findorn elves. Okay, we can't play anything. Turn 2, turn 3, Boreal Centaur. Okay. Yep, I'm stuck here. swamp, turn 2. So we got turn 1 forest. We could double up on our green. What is going on? That's funny. Yeah, I don't like this deck as much as I do the red-black. I don't know if the dark depths is really doing anything. It just looks cool and gives me an all-win condition, but looks a bit of a stretch. Probably need slightly more swamps in that deck than I've got. There may be some sort of... I think there's definitely, I'm not going to build it, but there's definitely a blue-white deck in here. Yeah, that's the other thing I'd try, is a blue-white deck. Yeah, I think I'll stop there. This is, as you probably imagine, this is quite tough seal pool to build because of all the sort of desperate sets we have here. It was a good experience though. Makes you really think quite differently. And I did spend a lot of time just thinking. But yeah, blue-white definitely looks like it could be a thing here as well. What's this? Yeah. In actual fact, let me do that. Let's get out the deck. This will look a little weird. Sure, come up here. It is interesting when you draft these earlier sets. There's just so many quirky abilities, stuff you haven't seen for either a long time or ever. And it was also interesting to see what they did with Coldsnap to try and make that fit. Obviously they introduced or reintroduced Snowlands, I'm trying to think in my mind how well, if at all, Ripple actually meshed. It seems to make more, Ripple seems to make more sense myself if you're just drafting that set on its own. Because it's a small set, you're more likely to pick up duplications, which is what you want with Ripple. Okay, 23, so we've got to drop some cards here. Oh, Stormcrow, we can't drop that. Get some planes in here. And some island. Interesting artwork. Okay. Looks bad. I don't even know what my win con is. Obviously Boreal Griffin, by all accounts. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's like one of these things where it looks like it's all sort of lock and gumming up the board and doesn't really go anywhere. It was worth a look though. So probably the strongest one was the one I built first of all, which was the red-black deck. There might be an argument for doing blue-black, possibly. Anyway, I think I'll stop there. Hopefully this has been a entertainment just to see what a dog's breakfast you can make out of starter deck from Ice Age, 2 Alliance packs and 2 Coldsnap packs. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.